Good morning. We are Team LDC Virginia, and I am Dawn Roseberry.
I'm William Ayers. I'm Chris Tomlinson.
Alex Houston Sherman.
We're going to be talking about the Williamston and Stonehouse site. Our mentor was Josh Marshall, as mentioned, unfortunately, who could not be here today. Today we're going to talk about the site characteristics and preliminary layouts, grading and road design, stormwater management, wet utilities, and erosion and sediment control phases. We'll be wrapping up with our cost estimate. Our development site is located to the west of Washington, D.C. and just north of Manassas, Virginia. As you can see, it is within a commercially zoned area. It's zoned B1, which does include a restaurant by rights use. Our site is very oddly shaped. It does include a lot of scrub and unfortunately has undocumented fill over the entire site. One of the characteristics it had was vast changes in elevation. We're looking north from Williamson Boulevard, and the elevation is 204 at the corner of Williamson and Stonehouse, and it rises up to 256 feet. Existing features include utilities, wetlands, and ponds. The utilities shown here: sanitary sewer in green, storm sewer in fuchsia, the water in blue, and electric and telecom in light blue. There is wetlands on the site. However, it's less than 1/100th of an acre, and a permit was received from the Corps of Engineers to get rid of it. Additionally, there is a retention pond located to the north of our site. It is shared with the office building and will remain. Our alternate layout, we found, did not adequately provide parking. The parking for both, there's a long-term and a short-stay hotel, as well as a restaurant pad to the south. The designs for the hotel were given to us. They were plans that were for Hilton. We needed to get the parking around the site, though. So we chose this layout. By bending the porte cochere, we were able to fit the two buildings better into the site. Also, the restaurant pad size did increase. We also added a roundabout, which is aesthetically pleasing. Chris is going to talk about the grading.
Okay. With respect to grading, there's always concrete points on your site that you can't change. Some of these, 1 and 2, are possible ingress-egress locations. 3 through 7 are elevations located on the adjacent properties, and 8 is a stormwater inlet that was already on site. This is the preliminary topography of the site. As you can see, there's a large mountain of undocumented fill because it was an infill site. All of this will have to be removed, and all of these slopes here are in excess of 30%, some going up to 50%, and these are around 30%. This is our proposed grading design, and as you can see over here, the building and roadways are so close to the edge of the parcel that we could not have the standard 3-to-1 lawn slope gradings that we wanted. So we have to put in retention walls delineated in red. Design speed on all of our travelways on site will be 15 miles an hour, except for the roundabout, which will be 10 miles an hour because of driver unfamiliarity. Parking requirements. The owner wanted RV parking, so we put it in the very western end of the site. We also put compact spaces on these 2 aisles in the center to decrease the paving costs. We have 308 parking spaces. We need 268 to be required for the 2 hotels. We have 888 spaces. The maximum slopes we had to max out all of the slopes with respect to the roadway and parking lots. The max roadway slope we had was 10%, and Prince William County says parking lot slopes cannot exceed 5%, but we got a special permit to go up to 6% due to the grading difficulties of the site. And we had around the ADA requirement, we had 2% slopes. This is an overview of the parking lot design. It loops around both the buildings for fire truck access. And this was the main difficulty, was getting from Stonehouse to the roundabout. We had to max out this slope because we had to make up grade to reduce the costs.
So as both Chris and Don have told you, we had a very unique site as far as the topography is concerned. So as you would imagine, the stormwater management practices would also be very unique. So we did an analysis of both pre-development and post-development flows, and we used the rational method to kind of try to match the two. Pre-existing, it came out to about 15 sub-watersheds. These 15 sub-watersheds were combined into 4 major watersheds. One drains towards the Bull America property and goes into existing storm inlets. 2 is to the on-site retention pond. 3 is just overland flow to the undeveloped property to the east. And 4 is flow down to this inlet structure that Chris was telling you about that actually goes to a regional stormwater facility just across Williamson Boulevard. So after we graded our site, as you can see, these drainage areas changed drastically because we got rid of that mountain right over here. So the number 3 is the area still for the retention pond. As you can see, we really reduced it, so we didn't really have to worry about anything going to the pond because obviously we weren't really adding anything. We actually took away from it. 2 is still draining to the Bull America property, and as you will see, we have to put in an underground storage facility to help manage that, and 1 is still going to the regional facility, but the pipe here was oversized, and that regional facility can handle large flows, so we didn't really have to worry too much about what we were sending over there. Here are the inlets that we proposed that resulted in these watersheds. There were about 20 of them. Here is the actual network. You can see the underground storage facility up to the west. And actually what happens here is this network piping comes down to a stormwater conveyance channel to kind of handle both, to do a little bit of channel routing, to handle the flows, and also to pipe it down to the existing structure down there. So as I said, we had a management channel and we had an underground storage facility. It came to about 212 holding cells. We also have other utilities, sanitary and water. As you can see, for the water, we tried to increase interconnectivity to increase the pressure in the pipes.
As with any construction project, erosion and sediment control is very important. For our site, we are implementing a 2-phase plan. The first phase does begin with surrounding the site with silt fence. We have a construction entrance. You will notice that is not the location of the proposed entrance due to the existing topography. It's just too steep there. We have 3 different sediment traps to capture the water. We chose these over sediment basins for cost, and our site is just about 9 acres. So we are able to divide it so they could handle the flows. We do have some drainage dikes diverting the water into these traps. And this is phase 2. After we've installed the stormwater, we do have inlet protection throughout the site. You notice the 1 sediment trap is gone, and we now have the underground facility, and we have moved the construction entrance up to the proposed location. This is just an overview of the final design. You can see it is very steep in some areas, as Chris and Will have been discussing. It was just done. We had to come up to grade very quickly, but we do meet all requirements. This is the parking lot that you saw, and we decided to put a fountain in the roundabout just for aesthetics. In terms of the cost estimate, this is very expensive, but it's not unreasonable considering the unique nature of the site. The cut makes up the bulk of the cost, and this is because we cannot use that undocumented fill. We cannot balance our site because Prince William County has odd regulations which do not allow you to build on soil which is undocumented. So you can see the other large costs, the subbase for the road, the water, and some of the other costs as well are large, but the majority is the cut. So just in conclusion, the site is feasible. There are some difficulties, but they can be overcome with just some creative design. And we would really like to thank our mentor, Josh Marshall. He helped us quite a bit throughout the semester. Dr. Diamond, Claire, and Mr. Young, just for their guidance, as well as all the other mentors and guest speakers providing a professional perspective.